Hi there everyone and welcome. It's Lauren here from Acting Classes in Perth. This is episode number 86 of the Acting Classes in Perth, a daily show, the show where I sit down and answer all your acting related questions at 7 p.m. every single day here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live and Twitter simultaneously, plus an audio only version now out in the iTunes podcast directory. You can search for that by searching Acting Classes in Perth. Now, before we jump into today's episode, I would love to invite you to join me at one of my free 3-hour acting classes for beginners. Now, we have classes for all ages and all experience levels. Don't think you've missed the boat. Be sure to check out our free classes at actingclassesinperth.com/free or follow the link in the description of this video. You will then see when and where my next classes are, and I'm super excited to see you there, to meet you, and to show you just how much fun an acting class can be, plus the amazing amount of personal development that you get out of acting classes, especially with us here at Acting Classes in Perth, because students come to us with all different backgrounds and for all different reasons. Some people want to be actors, some people want to build their confidence, some people just need to make new friends, some people have too much spare time, some people need to get up at work and do some public speaking and they need to refine that skill, so they come to us, and you are going to have so much fun at our free 3-hour class, so be sure to check out when our next one is and where it is, and I very much look forward to seeing you there. But first of all, let's roll today's intro. All right, so today's question comes into us from Grace. But before we get to that, if you are watching us right now, please give us a huge thumbs up. I would love to know that you're out there. Leave a comment, ask a question. If you don't know what to say, just simply say hello. I'll get back to you very, very shortly. Plus, stay tuned, because at the end of this episode, I have another student shout out to someone who's achieved so much since starting with us here at Acting Classes in Perth, and I am so incredibly proud of them. But first of all, let's listen to today's question, which is brought to us from Grace.
My question for you is, how do I perfect my nonverbal communication? Cheers.
Grace, thank you so much for sending in your question. It's a great question. And look, I'm going to give you some ideas and thoughts on how you can practically start building and improving your non-verbal communication skills. And firstly, what I want you to do is I want you to make an asserted effort in all you do all throughout the day to look and watch and focus on all the non-verbal communication that exists around you in your everyday life, right? Whether that be at school, whether that be at home, whether that be at work, with your friends, it doesn't matter. What I want you to do is I want you to look at all of it, right? So I want you to be aware of how people are reacting to each other, how people are communicating with their body. I want you to watch what people say, their verbal communication, and see how that aligns or misaligns with their non-verbal communication as well. I just want you as a basis, first of all, to immerse yourself in really making an asserted effort to watch and acknowledge all of the non-verbal communication around you in your everyday life. Then what I want you to do is I want you to move on to starting to focus the vast majority of your communication in the way in which you communicate with people. I want you to focus on non-verbal communication with others, right? So I want you to look at how you can interact with others, how you can agree or disagree without actually saying anything at all with your words, but only with your non-verbal communication, through your look, through your energy, through your physicality, through the lack of eye contact, or with the amount of eye contact that you might actually throw out to someone. And then look, this all being said, Grace, don't forget that our nonverbal communication skills are such an innate part of who we are as human beings, but also as as animals, right? So what I want you to remember is it is something that does come incredibly natural to most of us. And I definitely want you to work on improving it, but I don't want you to overthink it. I want you to allow it to flow to and from you and study that. And then you'll find you are starting to build up a much greater understanding of that nonverbal communication. Grace, thank you so much for sending in this question. I have loved it. And if you liked Grace's question too, I want you right now to click the share button, help out your fellow actor. And if you're watching us here on Facebook or Twitter, be sure to like and follow our page. And if you're watching us on YouTube, then click subscribe and then be sure to hit the notifications bell next to it. And finally, if you are watching us, listening to us, I should say, right now on iTunes, simply click subscribe. And don't forget, head on over to actingclassesinperth.com/free, or simply click the link in the description of this video to find out where and when my next free 3-hour acting class for beginners is being held. But right now, before we go, I have a student shout out. And this is someone who, I guess to some people, made a step that doesn't seem too big, but to this person, it was a huge step. And that was getting in a car and actually driving to our classes. This person started with a driver's license, but they had never used it in many, many years. She was terrified of getting behind a wheel. Her name was Roxanne O'Connor. And Roxanne, I am so incredibly proud and amazed that you overcame that fear. You looked the fear in the eye. You made sure that when you got in that car, you were in a safe place. You had someone next to you, I believe your husband, who was able to help you through the journey of getting to class and confronting your fear. And it's a lot, right? For some people, they might go, getting in a car and driving is not a very big achievement, right? Well, that's irrelevant because that's not their life. But in your life, because of whatever had happened, you had become overwhelmed. And you focused, you felt the fear, and you went for it anyway. And on the other side of that, you then spoke to me, Roxanne, about the amazing achievement that it felt, right? That you had achieved this huge thing because you had built this idea of what getting in the car and the anxiety and the fear around what it was going to be like. And then all of a sudden you confronted it and you showed yourself, let alone me and the other students in the class, now every time you drive to class, but you showed yourself that when you are focused, when you have support, that you can achieve it. And I'm so incredibly proud of you, Roxanne. Well done. It's been a pleasure working with you, and I'm very, very excited to continue working with you as we move forward. Well done, Roxanne. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that was today's episode. We got a little bit heartfelt there at the end, but I think it was needed. And I very much look forward to seeing you again tomorrow at 7 p.m. for another question answered by me. I'm Lauren. You've been watching The Daily Show, brought to you by Acting Classes in Perth. Until I see you again tomorrow, stay safe, and like always, happy acting.